Mr. President, allow me to, thank you for acknowledging my request to contribute to this motion. Allow me to recognize the students from the Birmingham University, to welcome them to St. Lucia. I am pretty sure they will learn a lot from these debates today. And of course, a special congratulations to the students who for the first time sat the CPEA. I know it was a very trying time for our students, almost 2 years at home, and not being able to interact and experience a full classroom setting. But the CPEA assessment, 40% is an assessment of their time during the school year and 60% the exam. So I really want to take this opportunity, without singling out any students, but to congratulate all those who were successful and wishing everyone else who were not successful all the best next time. Mr. President, if you would further indulge me. Yes, we are in the carnival season, and I want to take this opportunity to really say kudos to the team who have been putting on events, very successful events. The Calypsonians who placed, and the young Desrel, 22-year-old Desrel, youngest Calypsonian in St. Lucia's history to have won the crown. I think that is remarkable. After independence, thank you. That is remarkable for our people. And we did hear of some statements and how his achievements have been rewarded. And really want to extend kudos again to the government for seeing the need to reinstate. Well, they did make mention that early next year we will see the reinstatement of Junior Calypso. Thankfully, we are in a period where we are recovering from COVID, so we need to do just that. Mr. President, and of course, as we're speaking about Carnival and Calypso, I really have to, of course, it would be remiss of me if I did not extend speedy recovery to Calypsonian Minel. I will not go into the details of what happened. We know it has been a trying time. Her personal issue, her physical ailments, being out in the media, but we really want to extend a speedy recovery to her, and we did hear of the government's efforts to provide support to her, so we're really thankful that this is being done. And lastly, in my introduction, Mr. President, something very unique has happened with our young people again. In 2013, St. Lucia brought home 2 medals from CCCAN, the Caribbean swimming competitions. In 2014, 1 medal. 2015, 10. 2016, 3 medals. 2017, 2. 2018, 2 medals. 2019, 2. And this year, our St. Lucian team has brought home 11 medals. For a very long time, our young people are finally reaching out on the world stage and making us proud. And we want to let them know that we are truly proud. Mr. President, as I go, I know my members on this side who have gone before have spoken a lot about the motion before us. But I just wanted to highlight a few things which came up, and I thought it really needed to be addressed. With the 10 million US that is being borrowed, what I am very happy about this, Mr. President, is that for the first time in a long time, a breakdown was given. And in the event that the members opposite were not paying attention to the House or didn't see the briefing notes or have continue to play to St. Lucians like they have no idea, because that is just usual business for them, a breakdown was presented. Now, when the St. Lucia Labour Party was in opposition, let me just remind the members opposite, we never said there was something wrong with borrowing. Our fundamental problem or issue with the borrowing by the then UWP administration was it was just borrowing with absolutely little to no accountability, Mr. President. Here you see US 10 million is being borrowed. There's a breakdown for every single thing, but $500 million was borrowed under the previous UWP administration. And where did the money go? That's what Madi Poitier was all about. St. Lucians, I was an opposition senator at the time, so I can talk about that. Every Tuesday I had to wake up and come to the House to listen, and on a Thursday present on borrowing borrowing where I could not understand what the breakdown was for, Mr. President. We never said we had a problem with borrowing. We had an issue with exactly what it was going to be borrowed for, with the irresponsibility of the UWP administration, and most importantly, the transparency. Now, the big difference with that previous administration and this administration is that we have showed a breakdown. And the 11 million EC from this borrowing, this US 10 million, is for COVID relief. But we borrowed previously $500 million for COVID relief, and we have to come here and borrow 11 million. Why? Because we are paying off your debt. We are paying off your debt, Mr. President. Can you tell me, for 2 years, quarantine facilities, owners are still crying for their monies. They have not been paid. And the Sen Lisa Labour Party administration has to come in now and pay off your debt. So don't come with this that we are not being transparent with the St. Lucian public. This will not pass. We are coming in, we are saying exactly what we are borrowing for. Mr. President, the 500,000 that is dedicated to the craft and CMOS sectors, as my colleague Kejiano, well, the breakdown, the Prime Minister did give a breakdown where we see 500 would go towards the craft and CMOS sector, 7.2 million for economic recovery and empowerment of youth. And I realized that they had a problem with the breakdown of that. We must not forget that they paid, how much did they pay? 35 million to an accounting firm to do our budget, our people's budget. Our qualified and experienced civil servants could have done that. 35 million you paid to an outside company, but we're giving a fraction of that cost, a fraction of this for administration for our young, skilled and experienced young people. And you have a problem with that? The same way you had a problem with training the police and you dismantled the whole training board. In this budget, we had to put back $200,000 to train our police. They want to talk about the government had no plan for crime. That's just part of it. And if we want to talk about crime, we can talk about it, but I can leave that for later because that is not the issue here before us, Mr. President. We are talking about the 3.4 million for street lighting, and Senator Shalry did speak about that. We are moving away from the sodium and replacing with LED lights. Our fuel, our electricity bills are very high. And yes, we must explore solar energy as well, Mr. President. But in the meantime, this is what we can do to cushion the blow. We did not cause, yes, and they stopped. If we have to go to the Dennery Farm project that they stopped. Mr. President, we did not cause climate change. But as a country, we need to do the responsible thing and do what we can to reduce and mitigate the efforts of climate change in St. Lucia. And this is just one aspect of it. We know that St. Lucia, our Prime Minister, is the head of sustainable development at CARICOM, and he's made a commitment to ensuring that a lot of our efforts will go towards mitigating efforts in St. Lucia against climate change. A further breakdown talks about the $4 million for the Millennium Highway West Coast Road. Yes, the sun turning started under the previous UWP administration, and I know there's going to be an inquiry as to why this project is taking so long, why the efforts that were given to the first allocation that was given to execute that project. Why was it taking so long? Different people signed different contracts, you in this and that. But Mr. President, all of these things we have to look into. And because the previous administration was not transparent about a lot of things, the St. Lucia Labour, because the previous administration was not accountable. Exactly. So, Mr. President, I did not want to really stand to speak on this because I really thought it was straightforward. We knew it was repurposing of funds. I remember there was a time right before election we had to come on a Thursday to come to do this borrowing. They kept delaying, they delayed. They wanted to borrow it, but we are simply repurposing this for efforts that will really matter to our people in this time and age. So when members opposite want to come and say the St. Lucia Labour Party will get a failing grade, the St. Lucia Labour Party administration will get a failing grade for what it's doing for these people, we have done so much for our people in 100 days, more than you have ever done in 5 to 6 years, Mr. President. And we can go there. We heard the Prime Prime Minister's allocations in his budget. We have been seeing what has been happening, the efforts that is going to make our people more competitive. Were you at Export the Runway last night? I don't remember the last time they ever did that. I saw a number of brilliant designers walking that runway last night, Mr. President. And I stayed there all the way to the end because I'm saying this is what we have to offer to our people. Diversifying our efforts, putting our people on the global stage. When they were so concerned with just building hotels that they never even built one in 5 years, we are diversifying and we are doing the right thing and ensuring that what we experienced with COVID, we hope to never experience again. So, Mr. President, my advice is for the next and, well, the last speaker, is to support this motion because we really need to ensure that efforts are put in place so we can take our country to the next level. Thank you.